Hey.
Hey.
George pulled the
Hey.
disappearing act on us.
You know
now you
what's
see
weird?
me, now you don't.
What the hell happened?
I don't know, but hello everybody and welcome to Into the Knicks-Verse.
Into the Knicks-Verse. Hey, Jinx, knuckle glass.
Welcome into the Knicks-Verse. It was I clicked the live studio on YouTube in the studio there, and it just wiped it out because I think it was trying to stream my camera through the live studio, not through StreamYard. So then it deleted the connection through StreamYard. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us. Welcome, Foxy. Welcome, Quis, on this very, very important Thursday night game versus the Houston Rockets. The New York Knicks. I'm George of Into the Knicks-Verse. And the Houston Rockets, one of the worst teams in the NBA. However, they have been winning of late. And this has become, every game now is a must-win game for the New York Knicks, who are basically have lost 7 of the last 8 games, including 5 straight at home, which is bizarre. And there are some rumors swirling around. The New York Knicks might be interested in Eric Gordon. How do you guys feel about that? I will start with the man shaking his head.
Well, that was both of us, I think.
I was over here smiling. I was just waiting to see how the table would turn.
He had a smile on his face. Foxy had a frown.
Why do we want
to shaking his head?
Why do we want to trade for a guy that's 6'3", 6'4", that he's shooting well from 3 this year, but he's a 37% career. Just meaning 6'3" or 6'4". Go with Grimes. I don't want to get anybody 6'3" or 6'4".
Okay. All right. That was a quick take.
Well, there's other guys. I'm trying to be respectful.
That was a very lovely, lovely quick take. I appreciate that, Foxy. Quis, how about you, man? How do you feel?
A move for Gordon. I feel similarly to Foxy when it comes to him potentially coming in and taking minutes from Grimes. I was doing some trades on the computer just to see what we could do. If I am going to make a move for someone like Eric Gordon, I'm talking to Houston and I'm saying we're going to have to expand this trade a little bit. You know, the 3 areas that the Knicks are really desperate at right now is a stretch 5, 3-and-D wing with length, and also a point guard. So I'm looking at the Houston Rockets roster and I'm saying, hey, can we discuss, potentially adding Christian Wood into the deal, try to expand it a little bit more, include Evan Fournier, see if they'll be willing to take that contract. Somewhat similar to Eric Gordon, even though Eric Gordon, he only has 1 more year guaranteed after this one. Yeah. And then I think the following year is only guaranteed if he makes the All-Star team or plays 500 minutes in the regular season or 750 with the regular season and postseason combined. So if the Houston Rockets are willing to enter a deal, maybe I'll have Mitch available. You have the Rockets, they're a young squad. If we can swap Mitch for Christian Wood, maybe that might, reinvigorate this offense a little bit more, help with the spacing. Christian Wood has been a solid defender in the paint, solid rebounder, and can shoot the 3. So if I'm going to make a move for an Eric Gordon, I'm going to need more than just, Eric Gordon coming in here and taking minutes from a Quentin Grimes, because we have a younger version of Eric Gordon right now in Grimes. So why make that move? Especially if they're going to ask for some type of draft compensation. If draft compensation is going to be involved, then let me get a little bit more bang for my buck.
That is some, I like that. That's some good thinking there, Quis. It's kind of similar along the lines of the attitude that I had about it. I didn't have time to dive into the particulars of what possibly might be available in terms of expanding the scope of the trade. But I have been a fan of Christian Wood for a while. And it's even possible he can be used. It's possible he can be used as a stretch 5 at times.
He's a good shot blocker.
He's a very good shot blocker. He gives us that rim protection that Mr. Thibodeau, Coach Thibodeau, who must be loving life nowadays. Thibodeau must be so. Can you imagine hanging out with him? lately? Yeah, going out for a beer with him.
A prickly fellow.
Woo! Yeah, he gives you that rim protection. He can shoot the three. He's got a live body. He could be an interesting guy to pair with Julius. So, and then Eric Gordon, I see him as more like insurance policy. Burks, every season Burks is out for a stretch of games. And Gordon can, he can spend a few minutes at the one sometimes when you need it. He really is a true two card, but he could be interesting next to Deuce in the second unit, because I really don't think, unless Evan Fournier starts waking up and starts contributing, he may not be long for this team regardless. So he might be part of that trade with the Rockets, even though the Rockets do have the youth movement. But the Rockets can then, maybe there's a third team involved where Evan Fournier, he's still who he is. He's still a career, what is he, 38%? Well, actually, in the past 37 for his whole career, but the past 3 seasons it's more like 39 or something like that. So he's still that guy. He's not doing it for us right now. I do believe though he will eventually get his shot together. Shooters will eventually shoot, but we have the defense issues and stuff, and maybe some chemistry with Julius and even with RJ. I don't often see much going on between Fournier and RJ when they're on the court together in terms of,
and when it is, it's poor execution. You should see them on off-ball screens. It's just sloppy.
Exactly. So he may not be a good fit anyway, but it's not like he can't play. The guy can play. Someone will want him. Someone who needs that 3-point shooting and a little bit of that creativity that he can give you. He can drive, though he hasn't been doing it that effectively recently. So maybe there's a bigger deal involved here that's possible to make this thing happen, because there are a couple ways that you get yourself out of the funk that we're in as a team. And one way is a trade of some kind. Now, it's not the big juicy trade that a lot of people are wanting. It's not as sexy, but if you put in Christian Wood, that starts getting really interesting.
Perk some ears up.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we even get them to throw in Garrison Matthews in there too. That guy can shoot.
He can shoot.
Yeah, he's a shooter.
My concern with Gordon, though, is I'm looking at it. He's out now with a groin, but I'm looking at his injury history: knee, leg, lower left knee, ankle, knee, leg, knee, ankle, rest, knee soreness, and. It's like, come on, man. I want to bring in some young spry. I don't want anybody with any injury histories. Have we learned nothing what we've gone through this year?
Yeah. The only thing is, like, again, I don't see him as like we're not gonna depend on him too much.
You say that, George, but remember, this is the coach we have,
Tibbs.
Tom Thibodeau.
That's my boy.
Look at the way the
true.
season is starting to spiral
Very
out
true.
of control. Tibbs is going to start coaching the hell out of this roster to squeeze every win he can get. So you're bringing in a veteran like Eric Gordon. I can easily see Tibbs, looking at Gordon and calling his number over a player like Grimes or even Deuce. So that's one dynamic I'd be a little bit concerned about. But if we're going to bring in a player like Christian Wood, then I'd be okay with that risk, because now we're looking at a center on this team that can be our starting center, or we would hope can fill in that role and stretch the court out there, knock down threes, and play solid defense. And I think this offense would probably kick up to another gear if we had that piece.
Exactly. And also bringing in some new faces might inject some energy into this team right now. It's and Gordon is a familiar face for D Rose. There'll be that awesome story, as you can see here. Mark Berman tweeted
the Eric
this
and
out.
Derek show.
Yeah, the Eric and Derek show from the AAU days. What were they called? The Mean Streets or something was the name of the
name of the team.
Yeah. The name of their team. Yeah. So there's that story. That would be kind of an interesting story as well. I don't know. I'm not sold on it, but I'm not off on it completely. It's a potential for me. in terms of my feeling about it. Salute to everyone for joining us. Salute to Derek, comes in here with a super chat. Thank you so much for the contribution here. He drops the names Gordon, Buddy Hield, Seth Curry, CJ, or Schroeder? Question mark. Let's just dive in. What do you guys think about these names? Well, we just touched on Gordon. Buddy Hield. He's been available, I think, since he came out of the womb. I love Buddy. My son and I ran into him at Summer League a couple 3 years ago now, and he was trying to cut in the taxi line, and nobody was having it. So we sat there. We talked to him for a little bit. Nice guy. Obviously, excellent 3-point shooter. Big contract. He's interesting. I don't know. Again, I'm on the fence with him. I think it would have to involve some other elements for me to be interested in that.
What would you think of a swap with Fournier?
See, like, that's interesting. Like that's a great suggestion, Foxy. Now there might have to be some other elements involved, but that seems
they're pretty close.
They're pretty close, and they both are like streaky per se, but they're both elite 3-point shooters. Hield is a step above.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a step above. So that would be interesting. So that's a great suggestion right there. Quis, how do you feel about Mr. Buddy Buckets?
If we're gonna talk about a 1-for-1 swap with Fournier, then I'm cool with it. But if the Sacramento Kings are actually looking for, a come up, trying to get some legitimate assets to build for the future, then I would say no, because we would need our assets to continue to build for the future. So that would be the only thing I would make me hesitant about a Buddy Hield trade. What are the Kings going to be asking for? Are they going to want to have us dip too far into our surplus of picks? Because Buddy Hield is a solid piece. He's definitely an upgrade shooting wise, but I think his defense is still an area of concern. So for that, I really wouldn't want to go crazy and try to leverage the farm just to bring him in.
Yeah.
And some of the rumor mills is if they would do that, they may want to get rid of Bagley in a deal with him.
See, that might make me be a little bit more interested, because now we can bring Bagley in. But then, can Bagley be a legitimate center? No. Yeah, can he be a legitimate center?
Yeah, but again, we get back to the injury woes.
They would probably want Sims.
They might want Mitch, because they remember back in the days there was a lot of rumbling about the Sacramento Kings being interested in a Mitchell Robinson deal.
True, but we could also move Bagley. We can like swing him to another team possibly at some point, but it probably would cost us. A couple of second rounders, which we have plenty of, but it might cost us one of the low first rounders.
And that would make me hesitant. A couple second rounders you can live with, but first for Buddy Hield, I don't know if I'm getting the most bang for my buck.
Especially if you give up Fournier. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. On top of a player as well.
Yeah. So that's a tough one. In terms of just fit and cost, in terms of what trade capital it would require to acquire him. Seth Curry, I just don't think I don't see the Sixers making him available.
Me either.
I haven't heard any rumors,
especially to us.
Stuff. Yeah, and of course, I would love him. The guy's a pure shooter. He's and he's a decent defender. He's engaged. I wouldn't say he's a good defender, but at least he's kind of neutral in terms of that. He moves the ball well. He moves off ball beautifully. CJ or Schroeder? CJ McCollum is a huge one. Unless you guys have a quick take on him, I'd rather skip him because it's a part of a bigger thing. But if you guys have a quick take on him, jump in.
I really wouldn't want CJ, honestly. He wasn't good enough to win with Lillard. He's not going to win on the side of Julius Randle.
Yeah. That's quick, isn't it?
There it is. Yeah. And Dennis Schroeder. I don't know how I don't know what the Celtics would actually want. That's the problem. And if they're giving up,
I don't think they'd want much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a boss. I mean, that's interesting. I haven't heard.
It is interesting. They said they might put him up if they're gonna still be a team that's on the outside looking into the playoffs come trade deadline. Schroeder would be a player that they would try to move on from because he's not getting paid much. What is it, 5-6 mil? And he's been a contributor for the Celtics. Had a couple 20-point games, had some eye-popping stats here and there. So I think a team would look to add him. He could help benefit this team. I mean, we are looking for a point guard, but I just don't know if Dennis Schroeder would be the answer for us. But he is an option we could pursue.
Yeah. And here's the thing, and I can already see our buddy Sko is in here.
Oh.
and I wouldn't necessarily have Schroeder start. I am unless we are acquiring a better starting point guard, a better point guard. Derrick Rose has to be the starting point guard on his team moving forward, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, that's been his MO for his career, coming off the bench though, rather than starting.
Schroeder,
yeah.
Initially behind Jeff Teague, yep,
right,
in Atlanta, etc. Yep.
And he actually was a very effective as a second unit point guard. And sometimes he would slide over to the off guard position. So so Sko, I'm totally on board with Rose continuing as our starting point guard. Absolutely. All right, let's get to the next topic here. Are we done with just talking about this, or I mean, we can keep going if we want about trades and whatnot.
Whatever you'd like. We're easy.
Any other rumors popped up on your radar?
Any other rumors on my radar? Nothing. I will say though, just defensive Eric Gordon, he is shooting 44.8% from deep this season, which is 8th in the NBA.
And I think in the article, Berman mentioned that he scored 20 in 4 of his last 5 games before he missed the one against the Cavs,
including 32 points, including 32 points against the Hawks, which is our nemesis. So he might be a guy. He might be an interesting guy. We bring him in just through the remainder of the season, and we figure out what to do with him, in the offseason. And I don't see him as someone that we can, like we're going to put that. I wouldn't put that much. I wouldn't try to spend too much to get him. That's the thing. But if we could get him for not much, like a Fournier in terms of getting him off us, because right now, unless Fournier wakes up tonight and puts on a streak which he should.
He could. Because remember the last time we beat him, Fournier had a hell of a game. What did he have? 19 points, I think.
I believe so. Yeah.
So it could be a wake-up game for Fournier.
And we have a pretty cushy schedule for the next what is it, Foxy? Like 3 weeks or so. I don't think we play we don't play a top 6 team. I think we only play one top 6 team for the next 15 games or so.
Got the Pistons a few times. We have for sure.
Yeah. So this could be a time where Fournier can start feasting on these like more mediocre to struggling teams, and he can get into that groove. And the starting unit can figure out how to use him, because obviously Thibs still won't bench him. Well, not bench him, but put him in the second unit, which is where I've been recommending.
Or reduce his minutes.
All of us, yeah.
I mean, he reduced it in the 4th to start the season, but now he's still using them.
Yeah,
more than he should, honestly.
Yeah. So he has value, and sometimes Foxy guys, when they get a little older, they actually become better shooters.
No doubt. But at the cost of this year, I just, like I said, I wouldn't want it at the cost of Grimes' development.
Absolutely agree with you with that. But I think there's a possibility to do both. I think there's a possibility to do both. That's all. I mean, I think there's a chance. And it might be easier. See, it might be easier if this whole Fournier's got the big salary contract. We can't put him to the second unit. It looks bad and all that jazz. If that's the reason why he's still starting, there's a way to get around that. Trade him for someone else, and then we don't have to start Gordon. You won't have that commitment. So that's a possibility. We have another super chat in from our friend Brandol Perez. He says, if Russ rumors are true, trade Mitch, Kemba, and Fournier for him. He can re-energize the team for a season at least. Well, he came to an interesting trio here of Russell Westbrook fans.
He signed IT today.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd make a swing for Russ. He's still a bricklayer.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
Westbrook.
There's a room.
Even though he is knocking down a 3 from the corner 3, though. I did see that.
He knocked one the other. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why LeBron keeps going to him in that spot.
My son told me there's like this thing that goes around and says like, with Russell Westbrook every season, he starts off and it's like he's the greatest player in the world, and then by the end of it, he's like he's the worst player in the world. But
the worst player in the world with great stats.
Yeah, exactly, with triple-double, tough, eye-opening stats.
Imagine Julius Randle getting 6 turnovers and Russell, Brickbook getting 6 turnovers. That's gonna be a crazy.
Imagine them both having quadruple doubles. Wow,
it'd be tough.
There's not enough shots to go around for the points.
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know. This one, I'm not sold on this one. The good thing is that it kind of gets us out of the Kemba and Fournier situation contracts, and then of course Mitch, they'd want him. So I don't know. This one I'm not sold on. I just unless, and the thing is, Russ has proven that he's not able to adapt his style of play to fit other schemes. So that's the major issue with him, and he would need the ball in his hands all the time, and he is a turnover machine. And then he would probably take away the starting duties from Derrick Rose. So yeah, this one I'm a no on, but I definitely appreciate the idea to re-energize the team because we are looking for something like that. Absolutely. Just not sure.
What's crazy is all the players that really energize this team are unavailable due to COVID. You got Obi, he's a guy that really gets up out our seats. I mean, we have Quick, so that's something. He's a player that when his shot is falling, he gets us excited, but the shot hasn't been falling recently. And Grimes, that 27 points, that really got everybody excited. So now you have those 2 guys out, RJ as well, a player that a lot of people in the fan base really want to see take that next step in an important year. And now we don't have those guys. It's gonna be hard for us to keep the energy up, I think, in this game tonight. But if you look at what we're going up against, we're gonna need these guys to have as much energy as possible tonight.
Little quick comment here from Sco. Joe Budin says Fournier is hanging out at a New York strip club at 2 a.m. Good for him.
Which makes him a normal NBA player.
Yeah. George, I don't know what's funnier, Fournier hanging out at the strip club at 2 a.m. or you calling him Joe Budin.
Oh, man. Well, yeah, either one. Yeah. Fournier, hey, I mean, if that's not the worst thing that could happen.
Yeah, our guy Paris Duggar, man.
I mentioned that places are open nowadays, man. It's not like last season where everybody's stuck at the gym.
And I think that's a huge factor, and it might be the main reason. Not that our guy Julius was hanging out at the strip clubs at 2 a.m., but there are a lot of more distractions now for these players, and that's it. And since we're kind of intimating, other than Mitch with his conditioning issues, all the other players don't have that excuse. So it might be the drastic difference of how it was a year ago, where there was nothing to do but just go to the gym and work on your shot. And hang out with your own teammates and develop that kind of bond, to now where, sold out Garden, they're on, national TV, every other week or so, restaurants are open, Julius is shooting commercials. There's a lot of stuff happening. So it's a lot of noise, and that distracts you from your focus. Yeah. So, that's why I think one of the topics we're going to move on, which is discussing a potential pausing of the season. So stay tuned, guys. We're going to talk about that because we're going to get to that before the end of this pregame show.
And when the Fournier has no legs.
He has no legs.
His shot keeps hitting the front of the rim. Now I know why.
Yeah, just like Burks, but he doesn't have the new baby excuse. He has too many babies riding on his lap.
So does Fournier playing windshield wiper.
Maybe a little motorboating. All right. All right, Parrish, thank you, man, for the super chat salute. We have to hold on to RJ, McBride, Grimes, Obi, Quickly, Sims, and Mitch in our picks. I also think Knox is a keeper. They can win. I'm totally in agreement with all of this. Mitch might be the one who Mitch has to prove it to me. I'm a huge Mitch fan. I dropped a video early before the season began saying, pay the man. I believe in him, but what I've been seeing lately is making me doubt that. However, I do believe that he has the ability to return to the guy that he was and then improve upon that. Let's hope. But the immaturity that he's showing with his Instagram account and all that stuff, it's a concern.
Same old.
Yeah, it's a concern. It's definitely a concern. Let's see here. Oh, Parrish Can with another one here. Westbrook is that alpha MSG is missing. Well, we talked about that before. The problem is just that the fit with Julius. That's a major issue.
Ugh, that'd be crazy basketball to watch.
Yeah. I mean, if LeBron, who LeBron is if anything, he's adaptable. He's an adaptable player. If he can't make that work with Westbrook, I'm concerned. And plus, there's the contract issues. So
huge.
Just not sold on Russ in New York. He might just rack up stats and then we rack up losses. Yeah, and we rack up losses. So that could be it.
Hey, you see who rolled into the chat? What a good question.
George called him Joe Budden. Who rolled up in the chat?
JD.
Senor De Leon. What's up, man? Oh, let's see. What's he asking? JD. What's up, brother? Welcome. Hey, salute to everybody in the chat. We got 57 concurrent viewers. Awesome. Thank you for joining us. Kind of announced it at the last minute. We're running around like crazy. It's a tough game. A lot of people are out. In fact, let's move to the next slide here, which is currently, so far, Woj tweeted this out. 63 NBA players have entered into COVID protocols this season, including 47 in December. And we're only halfway through December. 2 head coaches, Indiana's Rick Carlisle and Sacramento's Alvin Gentry, and 1 top team executive, Toronto's Masai Ujiri, are also in protocols. And then Mark Berman, who I'm sure, I don't know, for some reason it makes me think like Mark Berman loves all this stuff. Rebecca Harlow, Walt Frazier, Kevin Knox, RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin, Quentin Grimes, all in COVID-19 protocols after their return from Toronto.
Oh, wow. Rebecca, she's pregnant. Oh, I don't like to hear that.
Yeah. She tweeted out she's doing fine.
Good. Remember,
good. Everyone's vaxxed. They're all vaxxed. So the impact that the virus has on them. Oh, what happened? You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Hey, shout out to White Falcon. Hey, thank you so much.
You guys continue. You guys talk about the COVID issues.
Okay, thanks, White Falcon. I won the pool. We had a pool. How long it would take you to bring up PG-13, and I won. So thanks so much. It only took you 11 minutes, so I won. I was the closest. So White Falcon, you're awesome. I'm gonna have a drink on you tonight. Every show we have over under on White Falcon and how long it takes for the PG-13 mention. Only goofing, man. Only goofing. Only kidding around. Hey, Knicks 100 a game. How are you, my friend? I'm not giving no picks for Turner, Mitch, and IQ best.
Saying Mitch and IQ are the best he can do. I guess he's answering JD's question.
Yeah, okay.
Give up Mitch and IQ for Turner.
Mitch and I, yeah.
Who do you think we would have to give up if we were going to make a trade for Turner?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Not my question. It's JD's question.
Oh, no wonder it's a great question. I don't know. That's a really good one. Obviously, I wouldn't give up too much. Maybe either. Yeah, I'd give up IQ now that we have Grimes. I'd give up IQ in a second, maybe, and see what we can get from him.
I'd be a little tentative to give up some more young players. I know I'm gonna get bashed, but I'm still tentative. I think IQ can be a point guard, so I'd be willing to hold out a little bit longer just to see what we can develop him into. I think
if he picks up his dribble one more time, I'm gonna scream. What point guard picks up his dribble?
I hear you. That he's not the perfect guard. He's not the perfect point guard, especially when his shot isn't falling and it's allowing defenses to guard him a little easier. But there are still some things that we're seeing out there on the court. He's made some nice passes, even though he has made some boneheaded decisions. But we've seen Derrick Rose, who's a great point guard,
keep leaving his feet
decisions as well. So hey, Foxy, he's not.
I'm talking about Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose is leaving his feet a lot lately and putting himself in nowhere land. Yeah.
That's his play style.
That's part of his style.
Yeah. He's able to freestyle in the air. You saw that layup he made where he was able to come up under.
Yeah, that's sweet.
So he's able to have that type of body control, and he's a wily veteran. So he's has a better feel for the game. He knows where his teammates are going to be once, or he knows where to expect his teammates to be where he leaves his feet. Quick really hasn't spent that much time as the point guard, so he hasn't developed those things. That's why I would like to see him still get just a little bit more time before I include him in a deal for a Miles Turner, because I don't think Miles Turner will be an upgrade from Mitch. I just don't see him as big of an upgrade as people would think for us to start including, promising pieces like a Quickly and, some picks on top of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that injury
sorry.
And that injury history again.
True.
Mm-hmm. I missed, obviously I was checking the thing. So what did you guys think in terms? So is it just Quick is the only one you guys think might be included in this?
That was the only one I mentioned, meaning only because the way I'm looking at it with Grimes and a few others, I think we have other guys I wouldn't want to give up Obi because we have nobody at the 4 other than Julius. So if we can get Quick with Grimes taking over at the 2 spot, I feel comfortable there.
They might want Obi because they're looking to move Sabonis as well.
Sabonis, yes. Give him Luka.
So how about this? We get Karis LeVert and Turner.
Yeah, so then we can be 12 and 16. Just like this whole thing about this whole Indiana thing, honestly, if these guys can't win, then that means they're not winners. I mean, something's wrong. I mean, why do we want players on other teams who are not doing it and who are getting minutes? It's not like Miles is playing behind somebody and he's not getting an opportunity. He's the starting center for the Indiana Pacers. Sabonis is the starting power forward for the Indiana Pacers. Karis LeVert is the starting 2 guard, or even small forward. Is he playing small forward or 2? I think Duarte
2 or 3.
Yeah. So these guys, I mean, I don't know. It just feels like a trade for a trade. I mean, right now Indiana is 12 and 18. I'm sorry. So we want to give away our assets, give away our picks for guys that are losers. Sorry. Out. I don't want that.
Yeah. One of the rumors is Toronto shipping Siakam for Sabonis.
See, now that's interesting. There's going to be a lot of rumors flying around. But I'm saying
but even that seems like a lateral move to me.
It's lateral. So that means we'd have to pick up something else, so we would need to get a pick or something. Or maybe
we'll get rid of somebody's contract.
Exactly.
We can sneak somebody's contract out the back door.
Right. We need to benefit in a way that's not just a pure lateral move. That's the thing. Of course, Miles is the one thing that's not a lateral move because he brings a talent and an ability that we don't have on this team right now, which is a stretch 5 who can block shots. But we were just talking about Christian Wood. He's an interesting guy as well. So in that way, but what Miles Turner, what they're asking for is a lot. So I mean, what the rumors are,
As if he's a star player, and he's not a star player.
Yeah, exactly. I was on this halftime call with Macron. I was like, they were talking about it. I was like, I'm sorry, did I miss when Turner was an all-star? Did I miss when he was an all NBA, all defensive player? Did I miss that? No. And he's also injury prone. You know, and we'd be buying high because right now he's having a career high in terms of 3-point shooting. So I'm not sold on that.
I always say the same thing every time. It's about value. If we can get him at the right price, then I don't have a problem. But I wouldn't overpay for him.
Yeah, and what we're hearing right now is just way too much.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, JD, for coming in and pissing me off.
Oh, I love my JD.
All right, man. Hey, let's get back to let's recap this game, or not recap, but preview this game before it starts. It starts at 15 minutes.
Yeah.
They're a real strange team, Houston. Number 1 in pace, but they're 27th in field goal attempts. Usually, the more shots you put up, the better the pace. They're number 1 in foul total attempts, but they're last in the league in foul total percentage. So some weird stuff. 30th in the league in turnovers, 29th in personal fouls. So they hack the hell out of you. You know, so I hope we can beat whomever they're gonna put on the floor there. They got so many people missing, including Eric Gordon.
Yeah, is Gordon? I think Gordon.
I think he might be playing.
Oh, I think he has a groin. I thought he had a groin injury.
That's why
he missed yesterday's game.
He missed yesterday's game just kind of to rest it. It's not like, I don't think it's like a real, like an injury that's going to keep him out of the game tonight. Possibly, we're going to see. I heard the rumor that he was going to play. So
I think Berman said he was going to audition in the article.
Yeah,
it was going to be his auditioning moment.
Yeah. Hey, welcome, Anthony 212. He wrote, "This is an ugly game." It is an ugly game, man. But we
every game we play is an ugly game lately.
It could be an ugly game, but if we have players like Julius Randle, Fournier, and Burke step up, I think this is a game we can, I won't say win comfortably, but a game that we have just enough talent to be there at the end and not allow the Rockets to really stay close. I think we have enough talent on the court. If Alec Burks and Evan Fournier play the way they played against the Rockets last time, I think Fournier had 19 points, Burks had 20. Burks was 6 or 7 from 3, and Fournier also had a solid performance from 3. If we get performances from those guys, if they step up and do their job, do what we paid them to do, then I think this team is going to be all right. We still have
we'll get the
Randle,
W.
It seems like, he's starting to percolate. I would hope. I'm a little nervous with, Tips talking about I want Julius Randle to be selfish, which I'm not sure is exactly what we need when we have his teammates struggling. But
is that an oxymoron?
Right? But we have the talent to win this game. It's hard to say easily, but we have the talent to win this game and be happy in the way we performed.
I agree with you. I
don't think we have to back into a win in this game.
They're just not. They're not playing. They just haven't been playing up to the level of their talent at all. Or one night we get one guy but they're not consistent. It's not a cohesive unit. They're no longer on that string defensively. There's so many issues right now with the team. But one thing I did, I watched the third quarter again of the Warriors game because someone had made a comment in my post game that they thought that the Julius in the third quarter threw the team out of whack because he started reverting back to his kind of ISO selfish. They didn't use that word exactly, but that was the gist of it. And I went back and looked at it, and actually that's not what happened in the first 4 minutes of that quarter. Of the second half.
He was the only one that scored a basket other than Mitch in the third quarter.
Yeah, Mitch or Nerlens got one free throw or something. The first 11 points, Julius scored 10 of them. But in the first few series, it was Rose had an attempt. Fournier had a couple of attempts. And it was Randle setting them up, but they weren't connecting. And then Randle finally, when he
had to take over,
but he only did it when he started making a bucket. So he started feeling more confident. That's one thing I've noticed. He's lost confidence in his shooting in general. But that game, it returned. So let's hope that was part of my whole thing. This could be a slight glimmer of hope that this could be the beginning of Julius Randle starting to finally make some buckets consistently, man. Because he has been, and the best thing, Foxy, was that it was in the third quarter.
Yeah, which has been haunting us all season.
And haunting.
It still
Julius.
haunted us.
Yeah.
It's just Randall finally broke through, but we didn't have a great third.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah. But Randall was, has been pretty dismal from the 3-point line from in the third quarter.
Yeah, we scored 16 points in the quarter. We lost 24-16 for the third quarter.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And the Warriors couldn't make a shot in the first few minutes as well.
Thank goodness, because then the lead, or I don't know, maybe we could have got some more burn for some of the young kids then. Hey, you see, we survived the 100 people. He put in the starting lineup for tonight for Houston.
Oh, put it in here. Thank you, guys. Houston Rockets starting lineup: Eric Gordon, Garrison Matthews, Armani Brooks, Jose Tate, and Danielle Tias. We should beat these guys.
Yeah.
We should totally beat these guys. What's our starting unit?
I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah.
I hope Deuce gets a lot of burn tonight, guys.
Me too.
Me too. Let's see. We need it. He needs it.
It was a pleasant surprise last game.
Yeah. It's such a shame that Knox is out.
Yeah.
And Grimes. Yeah. It breaks my heart.
Definitely Grimes, but we know Grimes did exactly, especially Foxy, you and I, that we knew Grimes could do what he did.
Oh, no doubt.
The other night. So I don't have any doubt that he's not going to be 27 points a night guy, but he's going to be a contributing player in this league, and he will be one of the, if not the elite, just that layer, that crust right below the elite 3-point shooters in this game.
He's going to be a 40% shooter. Like I said, he did it in college, did it in preseason, did it in summer league. He'll do it here. Hey, we surveyed 100 people, just put in the Knicks starting lineup. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your help.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate
it. Derrick Rose, Alec Burks, Evan Fournier, Julius Randle, and Nerlens Noel. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And that's also the second unit.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it also breaks my heart.
Masquerade as the second unit. Yep.
It breaks my heart that Luka Shamanik has a foot issue, so they couldn't call him up. Like, we're cursed.
Timing. Yeah.
I know.
Grimes, Knox, Luka.
I was like, what's next? Amir Sims coming up?
It's been a terrible start to the season with the injuries, the Rona, so much flux with the rotations.
Yeah.
I can't blame some of these players for having difficulties trying to get comfortable out there.
Yeah. And folks, we're worried about the Rona, man. Is this going to be shut down? What's your thoughts? This is frightening.
Let's get back to this. So, today I posted a poll and on Twitter, and I'm suggesting that the NBA puts a pause on games, call it the holiday pause, until January 10th. So we finished the rest of the games this weekend and put the pause into effect on Monday. And then on January 3rd, the players can come back together. Everyone gets retested. And if they're negative, they can start practicing. And they have 7 days for everyone kind of work through any kind of potential positive tests they had. And remember, especially for the Knicks, we're all vaccinated. So usually, technically you should recover quicker. And then everyone be ready by January 10th. So we kind of, in essence, purge the Rona from the NBA itself. And I'm saying include the coaches, include the towel kids. I mean, everybody.
The strippers.
Like Harlow's. Definitely, go into all the strip clubs in every major city that there's an NBA team, get them all tested. And let's flush this thing so we can get back on January 10th and just roll through to the end of the season without having this, because this can snowball, guys. And we're seeing the beginning of the snowball right now. Well, look at this. Yeah. Look at this. 47 in just December alone.
Yeah, it's frightening. And growing. So if you guys look for that tweet, maybe I'll put it in the description here. I'd like to hear your feelings about it, if you agree or disagree with that idea of a holiday pause.
And it kind of coincides with the Premier League in soccer Premier League in England. They're mulling it over as well because they're being hit. I mean, they've had to postpone games. I think the only games that have been postponed have been Chicago, right?
Yeah, Chicago. They postponed Chicago versus Detroit, and I forgot what the other game was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Knicks 100 AGM. Welcome, brother. King shut down their operations.
Yeah. Hey, Chad, I was goofing with Quis and with George off the air, and I said, if this gets shut down, one of the only positives for the rest of the year, the only positives, we get the number 10 pick at the moment. So who knows in the lottery, maybe we can move up and get some elite talent. But I'm trying to, it's a terrible situation, so I'm trying some levity because it's crippling if that happens, or what we're seeing is just frightening. That no, man, we lost our game a couple of, a year or something ago. Not again, please.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We preempt it, not a shutdown per se, just a pause. I think that has a chance of working. But if we keep going, here's the thing: if we keep going like this, we may end up just having to shut it down, and without knowing when we can get back up and running. That's the danger of it. The danger of it for sure. Let's see here. All right, let's shout out Boost Mobile. Welcome, brother. Thank you for joining us. Lex, White Falcon 44. Good to see you. 6 hours
ago. I did see a blooper, not a blooper, but a little notification on my phone. And there we go. Thanks for the assist, Fox. Hey, if we had you at point guard, we might be doing a little bit better.
He makes us look good.
Frightening. I'm even slower than Fournier. Oh God.
Hey, it's all up here, Foxy.
That's what I say all the
time. Welcome, brother BKL.
Oh, that's my guy, brother BKL Contreras. Hope all is well, my friend.
Yeah, man. Let's see here. Hey, fella, I don't know if we could win between formation and defense by 2-8 if they need Kemba Walker. Do you have any opinion?
So basically, he's asking if we think Kemba should get some minutes in this game.
Yeah. If I would, I would play him. I would play him, but Thibs is. I think there's something going on in terms of. Here's the thing: if you play him, if you play Kemba with the second unit, and he's still a minus player,
it's the trade value.
The zero trade interest that exists now will continue, but maybe they can prop him up and trying to sell him, say, no, he's doing great and everything. He really just needs a new place to go to. And then they don't expose him anymore in terms of game time, floor time. Maybe possibly they can find a new home for him, or they end up having to cut him at some point.
I see the Lakers bringing in IT, and you can't tell me Kemba's worse defensively.
That's why I thought the same.
Or
and on offense too.
Off offensive, on offense, So I think Kemba can definitely contribute. It's just you have to have a feel for the game and insert him into the right moments with the right players out there on the court with him, which is going to be hard with so many of our players like Grimes and RJ. Players we look to be plus defenders out. But I still think we can still find some time for Kemba Walker to contribute.
I agree. He could give us like some turbo minutes. He comes in, gives you 10 points in 6 minutes or something like that. He could be that guy on this team currently, which we do need. We get through these scoring funks. He could be awesome. And
he gives us 10 points real fast, and he gives 15 to the opposition real fast.
Yeah. Hey, he's a giver. He's a giver.
Hey, the minute he's a plus out there on the court, you got to sub him.
Yeah, it's like Costanza. Like I'm out.
He's a giver. But we did,
we got 1 minute to the game.
There were definitely a few moments where Kemba did contribute some offense when we were stagnating. There were definitely those nights.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He had a nice third quarter like that. He had a couple of nice first quarters. He just couldn't string them together. And then, like what Foxy said, we'd give up a lot of points on the other end. So that's a big issue. All right, we're going to wrap this up because the game's going to start.
One thing. Also, when you look at this roster and we're dealing with the Rona, you got to look at the front office and Tibbs and think, hey, we knew this was going to be a issue, or it could be an issue where players are going to be unavailable due to COVID. You know, why are we carrying Wayne Selden on the roster if all he's going to be is a glorified practice player? Pretty much. We should have had another player that could have filled in an instance like this. And, you know, that's another, you know, demerit I'm giving the front office in terms of what they did this offseason. We should have had a player that could actually contributed with that 15th roster spot.
I 100% agree with you.
Makes two of us. Yep. That's my guy.
Especially right now, we're basically all of our quote unquote wings are gone, except for Burks. Burks is the only
Selden
wing.
Couldn't buy a minute.
Yeah. I would totally play Selden. I totally play him. He can shoot. You know, the adequate defender. You know, I mean, right now we're desperate. You know, I'd rather play him than give some minutes to him than play Burks 40 minutes, who's you know, getting up at 2 a.m. to feed his baby. You know, I mean, I'd rather do that,
especially when he's 2 for 10.
Exactly.
From 3.
Exactly. Right. You're not taking minutes away from someone who's lighting it up. You're taking minutes away from someone who's struggling, who's tired, who's front rimming all of his 3-point attempts. Yeah.
Speaking about lighting up.
Yes, it is time. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. This was great. We'll be doing the next pregame on Sports Vibes TV. And we'll just be.
When is that? Sunday?
Saturday.
Saturday. What time? Because if it's one of those noon games, I'm not going to be up in time to do a pregame.
We'll figure it out. Either way, we'll figure it out. Just keep an eye out for it. I really appreciate everyone here in the chat, and your contributions in the chat have been awesome, giving us information and everything. It's been great, and your questions are wonderful. We have such great fans, man. We deserve.
We're blessed.
A winning team, and we're going to keep beating the drum and make sure that the front office hears us, all of us, the fan base, because we can't go another 2, 3, 4 years with this type of scenario. We need to get back on the winning track. And I believe that we do have pieces here on this team as a foundation to get us there. I love our young core.
We do have pieces, but I'm afraid what they are.
I love our young core.
I love our young core too.
I love it. You know, so let's go. Let's win this game tonight.
Facts.
Yes.
No excuses, just results.
No excuses, just results. All right, guys. And I will see you around the